Right then, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Maid of Sker. At least, that seems to be how it's pronounced after looking up a pronunciation of it on the internet, because it is not English, it is Welsh, because this is a little survival horror game made, I believe, by some Welsh folks in a Welsh company about a Welsh place, which should be nice and interesting and exciting, for I don't believe that in the channel's history we've ever played a game from or about Wales before, so this should be nice and interesting. So, yes, I got this game several years ago and have completely forgotten everything that I knew about it at the time, but I'm being quite impressed by it. Came out in the middle of 2020, I think, and obviously I'm just getting around to it now because I'm a dingbat, but hey-ho, that's life. Let's play the game. What difficulty would we like to play on? We could play on safe. For those who wish to focus on atmosphere and story, you are locked to this mode once you begin. Enemies and damage are removed from the game, some items are unobtainable, and some rewards are locked. Easy for those new to a horror game and want a relaxed playthrough. Or we could have normal, for normal people. A challenging yet balanced horror experience recommended for most players. Indeed, and hard mode. Focus on survival skills. Oh goodness. Saves limited. Oh dear. How about we go for normal difficulty for normal people, rather than crazy difficulty for masochists.
Dearest Thomas, these are not words I wish to write. My father has learned of our plans, my love. Yet there is more, far worse, that I wish you to understand, but I fear you may believe me taken with madness. My father seeks to use me, as I have come to believe he used my poor mother. He wishes me to sing for him as she did, to become the star attraction that will draw good folk to this accursed spit of land. My refusal to do so has led to my confinement here at Sker Hotel. I cannot explain further, but ask that you trust me. I beseech you to compose a melody for me, a counter to the song contained within this locket of my mother's. I realize this request will seem strange, that your first thought will be to come straight here, but without your composition, all hope of holding back the darkness gathering here will be lost. Your love. Always, Elizabeth.
Interesting, intriguing, and quite beautiful. That would explain why I can't sing then, because mine is filthy. Right then. Interesting, so does this have some sort of musical? Does it have scary music in it? Does it have some sort of musical element in it then, given that we seem to play as a musician of some kind and we're going to use a phonograph to save the game, or a gramophone, perhaps, I think might be another term for that word. So, yeah, I also noticed the loading icon is little musical notes flying around, so presumably there's going to be quite an emphasis on sound, perhaps, which should be nice and interesting. Reminds me a little of playing Perception, which was a truly unique game, because, oh goodness, because, of course, in that game you played as a character who was blind, and it relied on sort of echolocation in order to figure out what was going on around them. So, this should be good and interesting. Alright then, yes, let me put that in my pocket, and we can see where we are. Also, judging by the pronunciation by the train guard, I seem to have not completely ruined the enunciation of the name of the place, which is, to the best of my knowledge, a real place in Wales, after having googled it while seeking a pronunciation guide. So that should be nice and interesting. Press oh no, I for inventory, so I think I said 1 for inventory. Right then, so we have the musical locket that was sent to us, and also the music sheet. Presumably this is what we have written as the counter to this. I can't say I'm familiar with that musical term. So then we've got some notes that we've picked up, and also the phonographs. Interesting. How like a record of the different places that I've saved, perhaps. And objective, head to the hotel. Alright then, I'll try not to trip over this person's lunch, and we will wander out and see what we can find. This really is quite beautiful. This reminds me of Harry Potter. Very much so, actually. I don't know if there's any inspiration there, but there's certainly a similarity. Here. Oh, look, a little dragon! A little dragon! Oh, giddy on, actually, it looks more like a wolf, actually, from this perspective, or some kind of rabid werewolf horse. Very scary indeed, but no, there's the dragon that I was thinking of. Alright then, this place seems very run down, doesn't it? I can understand why she described it as a spit of land now. So where exactly are we? So, hang on a sec. Sorry, got distracted by a phone call. I don't think I need to answer that. It's probably just a scam, like most of the time. Alright, let's wander around and see what we can find. If we can find any interesting things to have a look at. I think that's just a bit of sunlight or something. I don't think that's as interesting as I'm pretending it to be. Grand reopening of the hotel. Special performance by Elizabeth Williams, the new maid. Daughter of famed singing sensation Prudence Williams. Enjoy the restorative peace and spa waters. Okay, I see. So the father, and the father presumably is the manager of the hotel, and his wife was the star attraction at the theatre. Oh goodness, I've got legs and everything. And man alive, they don't walk along here very often, do they? I won't really advise running, my friends. You might trip over. But this is gorgeous. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. I haven't been to Wales since I was a child. I used to take holidays there sometimes, but I have not been there in a very long time. We will explore it together. So yes, this I must confess I can't remember how long this game is supposed to be, whether it's meant to be like a full-length sort of 20-hour thing, whether it's meant to be a bit shorter. I don't think it's meant to be too short. I can't imagine it's any less than like at least a few hours. But we will see. This is the same as before. So is that must be the current date then? So it's currently 1897. Goodness, this sets this quite far in the past then. Is that the, yeah, I'll do my best. I can definitely hear someone singing, but I can't see anyone. It's quite beautiful. Goodness. I feel bad for leaving this game on my hard drive for so long and never actually getting around to playing it. The problem is that what we're doing episodes of series one week apart, it takes forever to get a proper decent length game done. And doesn't leave a lot of space for doing getting through many, which has kind of been compounded by the fact that while I was looking for a new series after the hiccup with Concluse 2, I went on Steam, bought a load of new horror games to do a series, and then suddenly realised that this tree seems to be bleeding, which is quite horrible. Either that or it's just full of raspberry jam. And then realised I had a load left over from the previous Halloween sale, but never mind, that's just me being stupid. What does this say? Private property. Well, they don't seem to have locked the door, given it's usually more of a greenhouse than a general house. But we'll see what we can find. Can I save here at this gramophone? Yes, indeed. So if I go back into my inventory... Hang on.
And it was in no small part due to my newfound fame and fortune that we were able to open Sker Hotel and embark on the charitable work which... Mother! Darling! Can't you see I'm recording? What have I told you? Never to interrupt when the door is closed. I'm sorry, Mother. Well, no harm done. I shall record this again later. But while you're here, my darling, why not sing for me? Of course, Mother.
That was quite nice. Yes, I was about to open my big fatuous features and question why under the sun they were speaking English instead of speaking Welsh. Not to imply that English isn't spoken in Wales, of course it is, but please tell me you don't expect me to play that on here, because I cannot read music and I cannot play the piano, so I'm going to get in a real pickle if that's the situation. But no, interestingly, the singing seems to be in Welsh, although they don't sound Welsh by their accents, but perhaps that's more of a voice actor thing rather than anything else. Goodness only knows. Can I zoom at all? I don't believe so. Used to be a little book about a penguin, isn't that lovely? And a little one about a butterfly. Alright, can I go through these doors? Yes, I can. Excellent. Does that mean that this is just completely optional then? Probably. Perhaps you can play this on here if you've got any kind of musical talent. However, I really can't. Someone tried to teach me to read music once a couple of years ago, and they gave up very quickly, so I presume that that only means that I'm rubbish at it. Actually, I wanted to go into the inventory and have a look at the phonograph list that we've got here. Oh, I see. So when you play a record player, you're playing a record on it, which of course has an audio clip that you can listen to. So that's how you can access those. A little bird watching station. That's nice. You can access those in order to hear previous messages. I see. Interesting. And here's some blank sheet music that somebody has been writing on. I see. I'm beginning to understand how this works, despite the fact that I am very stupid. And I'm worrying about the frame rate. That's the trouble with playing beautiful games. You always end up with a squiffy frame rate. Give me a moment. I'm just going to see if there's anything I can do about the frame rate. That looks a little better. Right, I discovered a thing in the settings which said target frame rate, and said its target was 300 frames a second, which is like 5 times more than my screen can even show, and about 10 times more than the recording wants. So I tried to mend that, and hopefully now it's not bothering with so many individual frames, so that might make things go a little smoother for us. Kind of ridiculous that turning the frame rate down is turning the frame rate up, but hey-ho, that's computers for you. This really is gorgeous, though. The sound design is lovely as well. The kind of ambient music that it's playing, that I'm yammering over, is quite nice. And you'd like to enjoy it, except you can't because the Eye of Sauron is over there. No, because I'm whittering on. Can I jump? Space and Q aren't doing anything, and those are the two most stereotypical jump buttons. So I presume the answer to that question is at least not yet. So let's have a little wander over here and see what is going on here. What's that? Is that a dog? I thought it was a pigeon at first. No, I think it's a dog. Oh, sorry. I was so enthused by the dog, I completely forgot to look at the floating whatchamacallit. And then I got so enthused by the floating whatchamacallit that I stopped looking at the dog, and it lost interest in me. Oh well, never mind. Is this place supposed to be reopening soon? Because it doesn't seem to be in tremendous good nick. But at least I was going to say they don't have barbed wire. There seem to be little ties on it, but I'm not seeing any barbs. Curious. I never quite get the point of fencing like this, because surely it's not actually stopping anything from getting through. But never mind. None of that matters. Let's see if we can find our way around that locked gate so that we can access the hotel, which is presumably our goal, so that we can find Elizabeth. Well, I must say it's a little surprising to see Elizabeth being spelt with an S instead of being mispronounced by a dingbat. No, instead of being spelled with a Z, which surprises me a little, because if I am not wrong, Queen Elizabeth I also spelled her name with a Z rather than an S, so it can't just be a thing that's changed in the last couple of centuries. Now, this isn't the gate we were looking through before. This is different. Yes. It's not like we've just reached the other side, because the gargoyles are still facing our direction, so... Although saying that, this seems to be the place to the hotel, yes. Yes, so perhaps we're all right, actually. I mean, I can understand why this isn't exactly a Roman road, given they wouldn't need to have, like, motor cars and so forth on it. Although saying that, I'm not entirely sure when motor cars came around. But yeah, this is the sort of thing I was imagining they'd be more likely to see. So, I doubt we're just going to be able to wander through here, but I'll try all the same. beautiful. It's haunting as well. It's like a siren song. Rather spooky. What did I expect when playing a horror game? Right, can I open the gate? Yes, indeed. That's what the game reminds me of, actually. Not just Harry Potter, but in terms of its like the visuals and the old-timey settings remind me of The Beast Inside, I think it was called. We did that as a little series a long time ago. Yeah, that was an interesting game because you sort of played two stories simultaneously. One set during the Cold War, and then one set much earlier, sort of this time. And you kind of played them simultaneously. Rather impressive game. But anyway, I'll stop yammering on about a game we're not playing, and I'll carry on yammering about a game that we are playing. Somebody seems to have left their luggage behind, but also taken their horse with them, which is a little strange. Oh, that's a handle. I do sincerely apologise. I thought it was a big hammer with a really weird long handle that had been bashed on it. So, never mind. I'll stop being ridiculous for 5 minutes, and we'll see what we find in here. So beautiful. I mean, I know graphics have got more advanced. Like, a lot more advanced in, like, the last 10 years, but... Although saying that, a game that I always think of when I think of really beautiful graphics is Batman Arkham Knight, and that was in 2015, for crying out loud, so this is 5 years later, of course it's going to look better. I don't really know why I'm always so blown away by impressive graphics, but I suppose I just play so many indie games where the graphics are absolutely appalling that it still seems shockingly good to me. Right then, let us head inside and see what we find. And who we find, and who these enemies that we're going to find are, and when exactly the sun is going to go down, because I don't imagine that this this horror survival game is exactly going to be played in broad daylight. I imagine there will be many shadows and many demons that will leap out of these shadows in order to assault my features. But we'll see what happens. Objective updated. What's my new objective? He says pressing the wrong button. Objectives. Wasn't my objective here before? Or am I going crazy? Oh, here we are. Oh, this is a map. Oh. What are these? These look like little screws or something. How curious. Objective. Answer the telephone. What telephone? I can't hear a telephone, my friend. Oh goodness, maybe I should pick the telephone up and call the police, because somebody seems to have been slightly eviscerated here. Oh goodness, there's a bust of, it's either a Greek philosopher or it's William Shakespeare. It's one or the other. Goodness, it's very dark all of a sudden. Now I hear the telephone. Is this, I mean, no, obviously we do have electric lights. There would be, you know, it's 1897 we're talking about, not 1202. Hello? It's Thomas. Is it you, Elizabeth? Do I have other options? I don't think I do at the moment.
Thomas! My Thomas! You do not know how wonderful it is to hear your voice.
What happened? Where are you? Or, your letter said. Your letter?
I prayed that you received it, hoped that you would come. I know my request must have seemed strange, and I fear it was all for naught, that everything has changed now.
Okay, so she did want me to come here. I got a little bit confused about that at the beginning, because when she said that I know your first impulse will be to come here and find me, I was a little worried that she'd be cross that our protagonist had actually done that, but presumably what she meant was just immediately come and find her, rather than waiting until he'd finished composing the music. What happened here?
I do not have the words or heart to voice it. It is far too terrible to recount. Please be careful, my love. This place is no longer safe.
And not just in a health and safety manner, because there's wet floors and poor lighting.
I'm safe upstairs, but I cannot leave the attic. I've had to lock and bar the door, hide away from the others.
The others? Who are you hiding from?
My father and uncle, the staff. They have been beguiled by the darkness that inhabits this place. They are no longer themselves, but stalk these halls, attacking anyone that makes a sound. Please, Thomas, listen carefully. Together we can put a stop to all of this. My father made recordings on brass cylinders of a song, a strange melody that affects the mind. If all of the cylinders are played together on the harmonium, this madness will end. You need to find them and bring them to me.
Alright. That was rather disturbing because I could hear footsteps behind me the entire time, and it was rather frightening. But no, I also got a bit worried when she basically said there's maniacs wandering around who are clobbering people that make sounds, and here I am talking to a wall. So I found that a little worrying. Oh goodness, can I go through here? Can I crouch? Yes, I can with C. And I can see through here. I can see some candles in a sardine can. Oh good. Oh good. Alright then, so, goodness, that's a freaky little eyeless statue. I mean, eyes are probably quite difficult to carve into stone, but still, you could have made an effort. Yeah, so we need to play a song in order to calm the minds of the villainous baddies, you say. Oh goodness, Queen Victoria, I think. Yes, good, I'm glad I got that one right. I would have been, very, very stupid if I got that one wrong. This looks like this very place here. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes, in fact, you can see it written there. I presume that the reason that they're writing the subtitles, even if it's just being written in front of you, is either for the sake of making it easier to see, or if you're playing it in a different language, perhaps they didn't want to redo all the sort of captions and models and stuff on the paintings in a different language. What is this? The Welsh dragon. Ah, I see. So he's some sort of special dragon. That will kind of, I would kind of hope that he's special if he's on the flag. But unfortunately, I don't know very much about Welsh culture or folklore, and I'm hoping this game will be an opportunity for me to learn a bit. Right, Isaac's grand reopening note. Press enter to read. Preparation of the Grand Harmonium, hire additional staff, sound checks, stage preparation, print bills and flyers for main event on the 30th, decorations, bunting and banners, additional chairs, more bottles of wine and shipments of caviar. Goodness, he was pulling out all the stops, wasn't he? Can I ring the bell? I don't really know who I expected to come and assist me with my luggage, with a hell of a lot of luggage I might add, but oh, I can go through these things, okay. I feel like if somebody had arrived, I would have been rather scared in order to deal with them. Is that it? Oh no, it's a stamp, isn't it, for sealing letters or something, I think, perhaps, or like a post stamp, an old-fashioned postage stamp. I don't mean the stamp, I mean like the postmark is the thing I'm talking about. Let me shut up and look at these buttons instead. What does these do? What? I can definitely hear footsteps now. So she said that they follow anything that makes a sound. Let me try activating something in the Grand Hall. Perhaps this is like Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where you had to make sounds in order to lure an enemy away from you. Perhaps I can use this soundboard to ring bells in certain rooms in order to drive enemies away from me, or out of locations that I want to explore. Perhaps that's how this operates. Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. Let's wander around and see if we can get ourselves battered by a bellboy. Goodness, so what's my objective now? To find the cylinders around the hotel. Yes, indeed. Okay, so that's my goal. Did I miss something along this back wall here? Because it says there's something on the... Yes, there's a little box. What's this all about? A scroll. Here we are. Ah, part of a map. All right then. So I can create the map myself by exploring, but I can also find a map parts rather, which will okay. And I can press M to instantly bring that out. That's nice. in order to expand my knowledge of the area without having to make the map myself. That's pretty cool. There's a symbol on that door, which means it's probably important and special. So, I'm going to hide in here for a while. Do I have a reflection? No, of course not. One day in a game I'm going to have a reflection, and that's the day I stop playing as protagonists who are vampires. At least I have an entire shadow, which is nice. What the hell was that? It sounded like some of the demonic wind chime was playing. No, nice to have a fully fledged shadow instead of just like the shadow of a flashlight or something, as is so often the case. Presumably I need a key for this. Okay, fair enough. Yes, it's locked, and I can hear that sound effect that I've been hearing since I started this channel. Right then. Okay then, so yeah, let's head along this corridor here and see what else we can find in this part of the hotel. And ideally not go anywhere near the Grand Hall, where presumably some sort of demon is awaiting us. The lighting really is beautiful, including this bizarre energy crystal lamp that we've got over here. This does seem very out of place compared with everything else. I'll get to you in a minute, drugged up Sherlock Holmes. Let me just have a look at this light. No, it's not special. No, don't need the notes. No, alright then, it's just a suspiciously bright lamp amongst this dusty environment. Alright, let's just have a listen.
Take all hells! Is that filthy mongrel inside again?
Father, she still pines as a woman. She misses...
I'll give it a reason to pine. Come here, you mutt. Abraham? Abraham! Where is that useless brother of mine?
Father, please! Please, she just misses Mother.
Abraham! Abraham! I'll be rid of this dog once and for all.
I don't know when the RSPCA was founded, but I can imagine that the RSPCA would rather want to have some rather strong words with that man. Maybe attach him to this hook and then hang him off the side of a balcony for a few hours. That sounds like a vaguely fitting punishment. Right then, I presume that this is the father that we just heard from. Such a charming gentleman. Right then. I'll try to remember that it's just a video game and just a piece of audio and not anything I actually need to get worked up about, but the professionality of the voice acting is excellent. I'm also beginning to wonder whether perhaps the mother is... Hello?
Anyone hear me? Who's there? Who are you?
Can I reply? Yes. No, the father seemed to have a slight Welsh accent, not quite as strong as the ones I'm used to, but perhaps the father is Welsh and the wife was an Englishwoman who married into the family. Perhaps, I don't know. You know how transfixed they get on meaningless details. Anyway, I can hear more footsteps. Perhaps we better have the conversation.
Henry Hughes, you must get me out. Hurry,
What?
we must get this door open.
That isn't my name. Or are you talking to somebody else inside there? I could try and find a key.
What? No, don't leave me. They might return any minute.
I'm not much use to you on the other side of a door, is it?
Something. I can't break it down from my side.
Well, I'm not exactly a muscle mountain, you know. Why have you been locked in here?
Why do you think? They're clearly rogues. They're trying to kidnap me. Please hurry. Do something.
If you're trying to kidnap somebody, wouldn't you put a bag over their head, tie them up, chuck them in the back of a carriage, and then sail away with them, rather than locking them in a room and leaving them there? I don't know. I'm not a kidnapper. Stand back. I will shoulder it in.
Good. Try again. Order, man.
Are you
Throw
sure
yourself
about
into
this?
it. Come.
Oh, yeah, you want to use the key, don't you?
Oh, God, please, no. No, don't do this. Whatever you want,
Right. Well, surprising that light coming through from underneath the door. Well, something with big trotters has got him. Goodness, perhaps I shouldn't have stood there yammering on quite so much, and perhaps if I'd helped him, he'd still be alive. Oh well, we've learned for next time, I suppose. Where are we on the map? We are coming down here. Yeah, okay, so there's, yeah, that symbol was on this, this as well, so I wonder if this perhaps represents a certain type of key, like if I could find a key with the same symbol on it, that might open all of these various locks in order to help me match up the keys with the doors. Here, a music box. A music doll, even. Yes. A slightly scary one. Oh, good. Am I taking this with me? Yes, I am. Good, good. I guess I could use that as a kind of a sound grenade. I could set it going and then chuck it in the hope of distracting a demon. What is this? Some kind of newfangled electrical doodad, one presumes. Goodness. Yeah, presumably this is like almost like a backstage service tunnel, almost, for the sake of moving things around without the disturbing of guests. What does this do? I don't know, but I slightly regret that I pressed that button. Oh, good. Once again, I have stuck my fingers in where they don't belong, and I have made myself look like an absolute idiot. I can't reactivate this in some manner, can I? Yes. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, I sorted it out. Isn't that just absolutely excellent? Like the tone of my frickin' voice. Alright then, never mind. My giddy aunt, I'd forgotten just how dreadful at life I am. Ah. Oh goodness, I presume this will also be locked using the same funny squid symbol. Yes, indeed. Alright, so we can now see that there are 3 locked entrances to this large room. Alright, should we see if we can get the elevator working? Even though this doesn't seem tremendously safe. I'm little more than a glorified dumbwaiter. Yes, this one I suppose. Well, it's got doors, which is more than I predicted. Goodness, this is proving to be very, very intriguing. I'm very curious to see precisely what sort of enemies we're going to be dealing with. I don't know if there's any combat per se, or whether it's more of a runaway type of horror game, whether we're going to roll on sort of like a Resident Evil or an Outlast sort of system. I simply cannot tell you. Perhaps I could have when I bought it, but I certainly can't now. So presumably we're on a different floor now. The basement. Oh, okay, I thought we were going up, but no. We're going down. Alright, let's see what we've got in here. Ooh. We've got evidence that I shouldn't have had my lunch right before I made this video. Is that... No, that's not Isaac. Oh, that's Abraham. Yes. Another cheery-looking gentleman. With a load of bear traps and chains and spades and axes and all sorts of other devices of beheadment. Let's see if Abraham's a lovely gentleman as well, like his brother.
What? Who's there? How long have you been there, Uncle?
Oh, don't stop us. Go on. I enjoy hearing you practice. You're nearly as fine a set of lungs as your mother.
How dare you? Get out! Get out of here now! I'm just my father's oafish tool.
Tool, am I? What the fuck do you know about it? No, that will be you, lass. You'll soon see. Mark me when I say that the only instrument here is you.
I said get out! Go! Come on, leave me be!
Of course. As her hoity-toity fucking ladyship commands.
God, that man! But what did he mean?
I think he's just mean in general, to be quite frank with you, my friend. Goodness, I must say the male sex isn't being particularly well presented by the fellows in this house. Presumably, when he said that she was the instrument and the tool, that he was aware of Isaac's plan and intention to use his wife and daughter. Goodness. Goodness, a man almost as well dressed as I am, with a face almost as facially frigged as mine, being far more violent than I am physically capable of being. Right then. Interesting. Have I taken injury, possibly from having glass shoved into me? Wrong button. Yes, presumably this is my health bar. Alright, perhaps I need to find... Follow the men. Oh, of course, naturally. Because when you see violence like that, you think, gee, I should tag along. Or perhaps you don't think that if you have a sense of self-preservation about you, my friend. Alright, I need to find some form of medicine or a first aid box or something in order to help heal myself up. Perhaps this is it. Baldwin's Nervous Tonic. This sounds like just the thing for me. Can I take this with me? Press Q to heal. Yes, I'm going to pour it into the side of my mouth rather than pouring it into the front like a strange person, but never mind. Okay, how much healing did that do? I keep pressing the wrong button. Can I do that with tab by any strange imagination? No, I don't know why I thought I'd be able to do that. Alright, well that's healed me up good and proper. So that is good. Can I go through here? No, because I don't have the key. Alright, we need to find some sort of harp key for that one. Right then. Goodness, this reminds me more of like Bioshock, which is which I suppose is inevitable with the sort of retro stylings of it, but also a little strange given I've actually never played any of the Bioshock games, which is slightly criminal, but never mind. Alright, let's see what else we've got right here. A piece of paper. A ledger of deaths and disappearances. Ah, just when you thought spreadsheets couldn't get any worse. Oh dear. 11th of June, Mr. and Mrs. Wainscombe, elderly couple of no children from Exeter, Devon. Clothes and trinkets? Unlikely to be missed. Reverend? What? Charlatan? Oh, Cheltenham! Oh, that's his location. Sorry, I thought that was his name. I do sincerely apologise. A merchant travelling alone from Bristol. Test subjects. A painter, a retired clerk, and a musician. And Matilda Norton. Another musician, asking too many questions, very evasive. Why? Who? The test subject or the police? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So presumably these are collectibles. Oh, I see. They're like little trinkets that I can bring with me. Okay, so when you say my journal has been updated, I presume you mean that the information that I've just looked at has been logged, not... Is there another phone? Not that my character has some kind of comment that he's written about what he's just seen. Perhaps, perhaps not. Until we find a journal, I'm going to presume the answer to that question is no. Okay, so let me see if I can find that phone. I can hear another one ringing. So don't like how highlighted this box is, as if it's of greater importance than I believe it to be. So I can't tell if I can hear someone breathing or whether it's just air rushing through the basement pipes. I don't know. Let me see if I can get on the other side of this door. It doesn't have a symbol on it, so I'm inclined to believe that it's open. Goodness, this place is a bit creepy, isn't it? Fucking telephone. Sorry, I find ringing bells very annoying. Okay, here's another map. Excellent. Okay, good. I've got a much better idea of where we are now. Goodness, finding these maps reminds me of playing Arkham Asylum, actually, and finding the Riddler's maps. Except this time we don't get a snarky comment, we pick one of them up. Alright, where's this phone? It sounds like it's off to the left here if my surround sound is working. Ah, this is where we got smashed to bits. Unlike the bloke who was on the other side of this, who got smashed to absolute oblivion. Let's go through here, because I don't think this is where the men went, because this is the same door that I seem to have come through a minute ago. Never mind. Can I go through here? No, this one's locked. Alright, there must be a phone somewhere. It's driving me slightly insane trying to put up with listening to it. I don't know why, but I do find ringing bells very annoying. Probably because it sounds vaguely like the alarm that wakes me up every morning. Aha, here we are. Oh, I see. Are we dealing with these sort of telephone booths? Is this perhaps before we had more sort of handheld telephones? I don't mean like a smartphone. I mean like, you know, like a receiver that you just pick up from a desk. Elizabeth, are you there? Are you safe?
I'm here. There was someone else in the attic outside the door, but I think they've gone now.
There is another man here. Do you know him?
I don't. But you must look to yourself first, Thomas. If you should be caught too. They seem to be drawn to sound. You must remain quiet.
Kind of begs the question why I'm standing here talking into a telephone, but never mind. The ones who took that man away, it seems they can't see.
But why? What do you think is wrong with them? I knew noise attracted them, but what happened to their faces?
Goodness only knows, but clearly a lot has gone wrong in their lives because they are incredibly violent, and seldom have I met anybody with a lovely past that's has been so inclined.
Dear God, that's horrific. I dread to think of you being snatched like that too. Our one hope of helping you, helping all of them, is finding the cylinders. Please, take the utmost care. And if I don't answer, it means I've had to hide, that they've come back.
I must say I like the vocabulary. It's very of the time. As a man who has read very few books from the 1800s and has never spoken to anybody from the 1800s, it's at least very believable that it's old-fashioned speakage. Although I must say I was not familiar that those that blue language of Abraham's was in use back then, but perhaps it just wasn't sort of written down and used in polite society, but it still existed. Goodness knows I don't know the etymology of mischievous discussions. Oh goodness! Please tell me these are big salamis or something, and not bodies. Although now that I think about it, they probably are bodies, given that... Oh good, another music doll. Why under the sun do I keep collecting these things? Oh, thinking about it actually, are all the collectibles music dolls then? Oh, I see. You mean like 2 out of 20 of the music dolls have been found. I see. I thought there were 20 collectibles, and I just found the first one, which was a music doll, and I was gonna like scroll through them like almost like a 3D gallery of different items. But no, I should probably remember after reading that spreadsheet about deaths that sorry, sir, I didn't mean to clamber over you like that. That this is probably where they kept the bodies. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I don't like this. I really don't like this. I feel like it might be easier to crawl under it, actually, my friend. But, we'll pretend like this isn't the case. Oh, dear, I don't like this. These narrow little dark passageways between the walls remind me of that horror movie, The Boy. If you ever saw that. Has he gone? He seems to have gone. I trust that at no point this game will tap into my microphone and turn into an alien isolation, whereby the more yammering infernal noise that I myself physically make, the more likely I am to get murdered by the baddies. I trust that that won't be the case, because it makes it inordinately difficult to make videos in such a circumstance, given that I can't utilize sign language. But we will see. We will see. Interestingly, that guy seemed to have a bag over his head rather than, not that, sorry, wrong button. He seemed to have a bag over his head. Oh, goodness, perhaps he put a bag over his head so people wouldn't have to notice him hiccuping all the time. Rather than the large man in the overcoat and the hat, who seemed more, faceless, should we describe him as such? I mean, he had something above his shoulders and below his hat, but I wouldn't really have described it as a face. Am I in a map piece at the moment? Am I sort of walking between the walls, perhaps? Is that what I'm doing? Like tracing along the edges of rooms? I'm not entirely sure where I am at the moment. Is that whimpering the man that we heard before from the other side of the door? Hold breath to stop coughing. Oh, is this from like the dust in the air? Okay, so there's dusty areas where I have to hold my breath in order to prevent myself from coughing and drawing attention to myself. Curious. Sheet music of Henry Hughes. Right, he was the man mentioned by the fellow on the other side of the door who got trampled, if I remember correctly. What exactly is that? It's another piece of sheet music. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure what purpose it serves. That's... because that isn't the recording of the sound on a cylinder, because of course that's just sheet music. You can't create sound from that by putting it into a machine. So that can't be what we're looking for, but it must be useful for something. There's another bottle of nervous tonic. Excellent, good. Do I need a healing? I keep pressing escape when I mean to press I because I'm a derp. Sorry about that. It doesn't help that you press escape to get out of it either. Never mind. I'll try and remap my brain eventually, and if that doesn't work, I'll go into the settings and see if I can remap the buttons myself. All right, let's relax. Let's. Oh, this is another breaker. I apologise. I thought that was one of those little drawers of like an old-fashioned vending machine. How does this work? Goodness, this is a very intricate door locking system. I might have just tried a padlock, but hey ho. Oh, it's shut behind me. Goodness. We're heading back up to the ground floor, although I'm not wholly sure what we've achieved down there. Yes, we listen to the phonograph recordings in the menu, indeed. So that's what all those are for. Interesting. I'm glad to see that this doesn't have tremendously complicated mechanics, and that they're introducing them quite slowly in terms of holding your breath and so forth. Because very often in a game, especially well, obviously when you play a game for the first time, I often do feel quite overwhelmed by the mechanics in a game, and sort of slightly thrown off by how much they present you all at once. Can we have a look at the fire? And maybe we shouldn't have a look at the fire animation because there's a villain over there. It's quite nice. It's much better than the rubbish I normally see. That's nice. Okay then, I think we might stop here for this week. Yes, we might stop here for this week, I think, because I've been quite impressed with this so far, and I'm quite encouraged. So yes, I reckon this can be our series for the next little while at least. So yeah, this is really beautiful and very intriguing and quite spooky, which are all the things that I like in a game. So let's listen to the audio piece. Or let's try. Well, that was absolutely charming to listen to, I must say. That could have rivaled Bach. Right then, I'm going to end this recording quickly because I can feel it. Excuse me. I was about to say I can feel a terrible coughing fit coming on, and then it came on slightly too soon. Right then. Yes, this seems very impressive and very interesting, and I very much look forward to exploring some more of it with you as the weeks go by. Lovely to play something more locally grown, and also to explore some nearby but not too familiar folklore. So yes, thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this first little look at this. Yes, look after each other. And we'll do some more next week as ever, so good night.